Hello, and welcome to Mind Window. Can you hear that? That gentle sound of flowing water. It's the melody of healing. The water that flows within us is part of nature's great river. And when we feel that harmony between our own bodies and the world around us, we begin to heal. Today, we're going on a journey back into our memories to explore the quiet confessions our younger selves never had the words to say. So please stay with me, because the path we're about to take holds more than a few surprises. Summer has arrived. I can see it in the hazy, golden color of the sunlight, and it makes something deep inside me stir. It's been so many years since I left school, but every time this season rolls around, I can almost hear those old graduation songs floating on the breeze. Time rushes forward, doesn't it? And all we're left with are these memories. I find myself just sitting here, staring into space, thinking about the person I was all those years ago. It's no wonder they call summer a season of endings and new beginnings. But back when I was a kid, in elementary and middle school, summer meant only one thing: freedom. I would dream of the moment I could finally throw my textbooks aside and just breathe. Back then, I wished summer could last forever, an endless season where a kid like me could just play until my heart was content. For a kid growing up in the countryside, summer was a masterpiece. It was the feeling of the hot sun on your head as you chased your friends through fields of impossibly green grass. It was the thrill of shouting with all your might as you pulled on a kite string, begging the wind to lift it higher. It was the glorious sound of our whole group screaming with joy as we cannonballed into a cool, refreshing stream. At night, the power would often go out, but it didn't matter. I could just lie on the porch, doors and windows thrown wide open, letting the cool night air be my blanket as I drifted off to sleep. Was summer really not as hot back then? I still wonder about it. How did we sleep so soundly without air conditioning or fancy fans? Now, after moving to the city, the slightest heat wave has me complaining endlessly. And what would summer be without the sound of the cicadas? I remember those old writing assignments in school that forced words into our heads, making us describe the cicadas as the symphony of summer. Their droning sound, their constant buzzing that called the season in, that supposedly urged the flowers to open wider to soak up the sun. It all sounds exactly like something from a textbook, doesn't it? The truth? I hated that sound. It was a headache-inducing, relentless noise, but I felt like I had to pretend to like it. But then, years later, living in the city, the sound of traffic never stops, not even at night. There are so few trees. You never hear the cicadas anymore. It's strange how we work as people. We so easily grow tired of the things that are always there, the things we take for granted. And it's only when they're gone that we begin to miss them, to cherish them, to truly understand what we lost. I learned later that cicadas don't even sing with their mouths. That buzzing, chirping sound comes from their abdomen. Their bodies are hollow, which acts like an amplifier, making their call incredibly loud. They vibrate their entire bodies, using their wings to create the rhythm of their song. A cicada sings until it dies, and it only sings in the summer because that is its mating season. The males are the ones who call out, inviting the females to find them. It turns out that every creature just wants a partner. And all this time, the child I was had so much anger for that desperate, beautiful love song. In those summers, we ate ice pops until we were sticky and drank ice-cold water without a single fear of getting a sore throat. And oh, the joy of playing in the rain. I remember those days when the bright, hot sun would suddenly vanish. The sky would turn a bruised purple, and you could smell the dampness in the air. Clouds would rush in from nowhere, getting darker and heavier by the second. Then the first heavy drops would fall, splatting against the dry ground. All of us kids would stop whatever we were doing and in perfect unison tilt our faces to the sky, squeezing our eyes shut, just letting the water pour over us. You could feel it soaking through your clothes, a cool, wonderful relief against your skin. Somewhere in the distance, you'd hear a grandmother or a mother yelling those familiar, angry words, "Get in here right now!" Are you trying to catch a cold? But their voices were drowned out by the roar of the rain, and the joy in our hearts was louder than any fear of getting sick. What did we care about a little cold? All that mattered was that incredible, blissful feeling. The ground beneath our feet would turn soft, and the rain that trickled into our open mouths tasted sweet. Summer meant playing in the rain, but not every storm is a happy memory. For any kid who grew up in a place where you depend on the land, you'll never forget the panic of a sudden downpour. The sun would be blazing one minute, and the next, a storm would just dump from the sky. I remember one time we had harvested vegetables from the garden and laid them out on tarps to dry in the sun. When the storm came, my grandmother rushed outside to pull them in. She slipped and fell hard, but she ignored the blood trickling down her leg, desperate to gather everything before it was ruined. I remember my mother, tears streaming down her face as she used her bare hands to scoop up every last precious bit, racing against the rain. Summer storms pass quickly, leaving behind a lot of regret. And as a child, you start to realize summer isn't always just fun and games. Summer came, and with it, the golden sun beat down, and so did the pressure of exams. For any high school kid, I think summer is the most special season, the most memorable, and also the most stressful. You've got finals staring you down, the battle for college admissions, the entire future your parents have dreamed of for you resting on your shoulders. You get so lost in studying, so focused on those grades, that you forget summer is even happening. It wasn't until the last few days of high school, when I looked out and saw the world in full bloom, that it finally hit me. I suddenly heard the hum of the cicadas. I was struck by the sunlight pouring through the window, and a deep, unexpected sadness washed over me, the sadness of a goodbye. That last morning, everyone showed up to school earlier than usual. Some kids were there at 5:30 a.m., even though class didn't start until 7. Everyone just seemed so quiet, lost in their own thoughts. It made sense, though. It was our very last day. The golden sun cast long shadows, a gentle breeze was blowing, and it felt like time itself was trying to slow down. Soon, there would be no more shrieks of laughter from a friend being chased across the lawn, no more heated debates during group projects, no more sneaking in late trying to avoid the hall monitors, no more passing notes during a test or skipping class to just hang out. All of it was about to become just a memory. Today was the graduation ceremony, and everyone looked so much more grown up. We were wearing the same uniforms, we had the same faces, the same voices, but somehow everything sounded so beautiful that day. It was like every single person was pouring their entire soul into this one last moment on the school grounds. We sang our hearts out, we danced our hearts out, we lived with all our might for that final fleeting moment. If you could make one wish in life, you should always wish for time to turn back. We all just clung to each other, hugging so tightly, and we cried. That summer, we were just kids, crying our eyes out, signing each other's yearbooks, and promising that we would stay friends forever. But the summer of today, we're all in different places, living different lives. We never see each other again. And those promises, they just drifted away, lost to time. Our class had a group chat on Facebook. The very last message was from years ago, congratulating each other on getting into college. Since graduation day, it's been silent, but we were all still there, a quiet digital monument to our past. And then one day, a notification popped up. John has left the group. It was followed by a flood of others. Sarah has left the group. Mike has left the group. And just like that, the group that held all our inside jokes and years of friendship, it was about to dissolve. The friends who were once your world become strangers. You don't talk, but you still watch their lives play out on social media. They have new lives now, and sometimes you interact, talking about things you know nothing about. We don't see each other anymore, but you know what? I'm still there, guys. I may not scroll through the thousands of old messages anymore, but every time Facebook shows me a memory from on this day, I always stop. I look at the old pictures for a long time, I read all the old comments, and I just let myself sink into that nostalgia. It's this bittersweet feeling, a mix of warmth and sadness, to realize this is what it means to be a grown-up. Some summers just don't last. And for me, that high school summer had a muse, a special person. I call him my forever crush, the one person you were never officially with, but who will always remain one of the most beautiful memories in your heart. I remember that summer. You were waiting for me by the school gate, your smile as gentle as the morning sun. If my high school years were a dull gray sky, you showed up like a brilliant sunbeam. You became the reason I looked forward to school each day, the motivation to try harder. That summer, the world felt so clear, and my heart learned to wait for a certain voice, a certain silhouette, a certain laugh. The feelings were so pure back then, but we were too shy, too hesitant to ever say anything. And maybe that's why the memory feels even more vivid now. The feeling of riding in the passenger seat of your car was so incredible that I wished the drive home was 100 miles longer. I wished that moment could just freeze in time. But every moment must come to an end, and every meeting eventually leads to a farewell. It's like we tried to give our love to the summer, hoping it would keep it safe for us. But summer can't hold on to anything. All it knows how to do is bloom with vibrant flowers and echo with the sound of cicadas in the leaves. That innocent summer was a lot like me. It couldn't hold on to the things we entrusted to it. Summer, a season of finals, a season of goodbyes. No summer lasts forever. No party goes on until the end of time, and no sadness lingers without eventually fading. There are summers that will never come back, but these are the memories we will cherish for a lifetime. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, I will always wish for my friends, for everyone around me, a life of happiness and peace. If this story resonated with you, if it brought back some of your own memories, please give this video a like and subscribe to Mind Window for more journeys into the heart, and share it with a friend you might be thinking of right now. I'd love to hear your story. What's one memory from your school days that you'll never forget? Let's share and reminisce together in the comments below. Thank you for being here.